snow coming in. I think I could catch some fish though. Alright, I'm not moving real fast, but I do have the first step taken care of, cleaning up all the trash between here and where I'm going to put it in. So, got the NRS CUDA 126 today. Recently kind of got this one back into service. Gave myself a couple places to put the track pack. Got a camera mount, anchor wizard, and I am going to use a torpedo today because we got good flow. So carry all that stuff down there and we'll start catching them. All right, got everything down here. I tend to carry a whole lot of stuff in the leverage landing net. Things like rod holders and the throttle for the torpedo. Really anything that as I'm dragging it can get caught on stuff. So I just need a minute to put everything in its place. I only got 2 rods, and they're both I'll say jig rods. I could have brought the jerkbait rod, but it's pretty high flow, so I just decided against something that could snag a little bit easier than a jig. So, got all my leader material. I actually put that together on this double-sided Velcro, and that loops onto the chair easily. It stays right where I need it to be. What else? This little guy, the roto grip, that I'm going to put somewhere forward because it's the perfect place to get that leverage landing net. It's harder to do it when it's not on something, but yeah, it'll go right up here. Got a boga grip, and I'll put some track packs in place, and I think that's about it. Put this thing on too. Probably wait till I get down there. Yeah. As I'm kind of digging in and organizing things where they should be, I will mention I'm going to catch fish, and that's just not, my positive mental attitude speech. I am going to catch fish because I know this spot, right? And I've done a lot of exploration over the years, and this one, especially in winter, I do well at. And I actually like it a little bit higher, and it is higher today. I found this place because I did a crazy amount of exploration to locate it, to fish it, to learn the spot within the spot. You know, it's not, I got a lot of time invested in this particular spot. Last time I went out, yeah, it was over 2 weeks ago. And I won't say I got skunked, but I didn't catch any bass. I worked really hard to catch, I'm gonna put that motor down. I worked really hard to catch one catfish. It was a place that I know 20 some years ago had been good to me. It's kind of turned over. It's become all catfish. Like, there was a huge school of catfish right where I was always catching good largemouth and smallmouth. It just, you know, the biomass changed over, which is a bummer. It takes a lot of exploration, a lot of just picking a spot and trying it, you know. I think a lot of times in the videos, it looks like I just step up to the plate and hit a home run each time. It's not the case. I struck out last time, and really what makes it work in winter fishing in particular is batting practice. Like, just as many at bats as you can get. Try different areas. Try an area that you know worked well in November in particular. If you have good November water, it's probably good middle of January water. Oh yeah, the motor's doing what it needs to now. Alright, let's zip up here and catch the first few fish. Alright, first cast, I see a little bit of foam on the bank. Gotta use that motor to hold position out here without crashing into said foam eddy. I don't think I would want the anchor down. Don't think it's a good approach to holding position. Not in this current. There we go. Yeah, there's a fish. Just a black jig. Hello. Oh, hello. You like that current? Yeah. Okay. Black jig, first cast. What'd I tell you? This is the result, though, of, I can't tell you how much exploration of this river in particular, and knowing the spot within the spot. Speaking of spot, now you're a largemouth. All right, got one in the boat. Gonna push him over here. You know, even if you do get to a section that is good, that has fish, you still have to know the high water spots, which I've fished this, you know, at this level before. You have to know the eat spots at low water, and you just gotta know eat spots. You gotta know the spot within the spot. And this bank and this stump right here is gonna be loaded with them. I mean, I don't know how long that sat on the bottom. Probably less than 2 minutes. That was far less than 2 minutes. but it does come down to you have to have the ethic of exploration. You have to be willing to do what I did 2 weeks ago in skunk in winter. It's, you know, it's likely to happen. It's more likely to skunk than to have a day like I'm about to. But if you do it enough, you find these spots that are loaded up, and you know that you can go there. The one pitfall that I would tell you want to avoid, though, is only going, like, you find a spot and then just only going there. He bit the claw, butthead. Yeah, I only got one claw on the bat wing. It's not the bat wings, it's the bat wing. It's alright, I got more to put on there. Steep bank, I can see the line kind of swinging free, coming down into that deeper pocket behind the log. So brushy. So brushy. A lot of good thumb right there. You know, you can try to let it sit still, but with this much current, you're not going to, because the boat's going to drift. Like, this is a lot of turbulent flow right here, and even though I'm not reeling, the bait is moving. Yeah, I got to get it all the way in on that bank. Get it, skip it way tight up in there. That was a good one. I like that. That's gonna get bit. Free fall past that log, go down where the fish are hanging under the log. Yeah, it's cold water. They're not gonna move real far for it. Close to that bank as I can get is better. There we go. Hello, Largie. I can see you. See that you're a pretty strong river largemouth. Time to not get in my net. There you go. Alright, let's take a look at where those two fish hit. So, you see that tree trunk there? They were right in that corner on the upstream side of it. There's foam sitting in there. It's just... it is moving, but it's barely moving. Part way out, there's a couple bubbles that aren't, and they were right underneath those totally still bubbles. I still think there's some along in here as well. Actually, where I got bit, and he took the bat wing apart, was back in that spot. But compared to, you look at the rest of this river, and it's, you know, everything's moving, everything's turbulent. These fish are out of the way of the turbulent flow, near that wood, near that tree trunk, which is, I'm sure, a big, just snarled bunch of roots, big old root ball underneath there. Bunch of leaves and other branches caught up on it. Good place for them. Alright, so they like the crawl look. but they just nipped at the one of the bat wing claws and ripped it off, and I only got one left. And I know I can still catch fish on this, but that to me says, hey, let's take that longer profile and give them something shorter. This is the TRD craws, a little bit more compact than the bat wings. We'll see if this has less trouble with them ripping it apart. It takes a lot. I mean, that second bite I got was pretty immediate, and he had one of the claws. So downsizing in cold water makes a lot of sense sometimes. And the TRD craws is a good way to do that and maintain. And I know that the bat wings, the smaller bat wings, is still a pretty small profile, but we gotta go smaller yet. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm gonna work this hole until they quit biting, and then I know another one further up. Eventually those first two fish that I caught will go back with the others, look freaked out. The other ones will be freaked out, and then it'll just get harder to get bites. So that's when you let it settle down for an hour, go somewhere else. And because I put the work in here in previous years, I know right where to go. I think the biggest I've caught here was a 20-incher that I think was, like, if I can remember right, I think it was 4 pound 5 ounce. So not huge, but that's a fun fish to catch. Gotta do it. I just feel so strongly. Frequent small applications, I rub it right into that little bit of hair, a little bit of bucktail that I put in there. GoPro start recording, and that absolutely helps them hold on to it. I'm about to catch one here. Oh, that one even jumped. That's because I'm horsing him. I'm getting him away from his buddies. Yep. What is caught? Bail's open. Oh man. Yeah, it's that knot. Caught the guide. All right. Number 3. Got some decent ones. Nothing big yet, though. I'm gonna get a big one today. I say big for a creek this size. Small river, really. If I get an 18, I'm pretty happy. So, but yeah, scent. Put the scent on there. So this is a difference between like a lake or even a tidal largemouth. River largemouth is long-bodied, fairly lean, but strong, real strong fighter. Sorry for the belly flop. I'd rather catch smallmouth, but I'd also rather catch river largemouth than lake largemouth. They're just, I don't know, they've been training harder. They're tougher. So there's a creek mouth, little notch right here, that when this really gets high, they go way up into that. It's not really high. It's up though, which is great. Like, you know, I think a week ago, this was probably up 5 feet or more. Like, we got a lot of rain. Everything got blown out. And it's kind of dropped back down to where it's this beautiful green color, but it's still got excellent flow. So if you throw a jig in a couple times and they've seen it again and again and again, sometimes you do want to switch it up and throw the scented jerk shad, which is the other bait that I have here ready, but I'm not done with the jig yet. I still think the jig's going to pull another one out of this spot. Holding position though is, and staying still is a challenge. I would not be doing this without the Torpedo. You know, and foot control steering is a big part of this all working out pretty well for me. All right, we're gonna start making our way upstream after roughing up a handful of fish there. This sort of ledge rock eddy, because it's so close to the other one, it might be good for a couple fish, even though it's fairly turbulent. You do want to pay attention to the most upstream calm water associated with the center mass of a big eddy like that. They could move up here, even though they got to work to get up here and get back. The bigger ones, if they want to eat, that can be a wintertime eat spots, even though it does seem more turbulent than they would want to be in. It is worth a shot, but you got to find the deadest of that area in, you know, could be good for 1 or 2 big fish. Let's move on upstream, find one of the other known eat spots. So that's not a known eat spot, but it looks good at this level, because there's I want you to look at this. See how there's a notch in this bank? That's a high water refuge for sure. I got ice. I thought that my knot was catching. It's really just ice. That little notch spot was good for at least one little guy. All right, this is some stuff that I carry in the winter for times like this where, you know, I was complaining with I thought my knot was catching, but it wasn't the knot. It's this is ice gathering in the guides. You can see that kind of crusting off. I'll knock a few of these out, but I think the bigger fix is to apply this line conditioner. I've also used real snot. Real snot is good. The Real Magic is kind of sold everywhere, and I just had this one, but I think the real snot actually holds on there longer, whereas the Real Magic kind of washes off. But whatever, I got a can of it. I'm going to keep applying it to keep it, keep it from getting that braid to fluoro knot caught in these guides. If it was over 32 degrees, I wouldn't have that problem. It's not. I think it's still 26. It's alright. I also have the hot hand packs to help with that. I got my wool fingerless gloves. These are just the cheapies you get at Bass Pro Shops. Fleece fingerless gloves, and then these hot hand packs. You slide it right in there, and of course I'm wearing a dry suit. Pretty consistent, right on the boat. So there's a nice big area of soft water on a steep bank here, and I can see wood in there. And I got that first one off of the log back here. I'm just working my way up. There's depth and stillness. Let's move up here. I don't know if you can see this tree poking out here, and then it kind of notches back. You see it right here. There's calm area like halfway out from that bank, so they could be anywhere in this. That one popped it and dropped it. How far out are these fish gonna come? I feel like I was moving that too fast. Get down there. Yep, it's a dinker hole. Reapply. And reapply. They both make a difference. The keeping your line from sticking to the guides matters, because if it's not free flowing through the guides, that little bump that you probably should feel, you may not, because it's all the way up at the top. You don't feel it down here, and I stick my finger on there. I don't know if you see that. I almost always do that. Gives me a better, just a better connection to the bait. Sometimes I think my index finger feels it. It's a really sensitive part of your hand, but I think the index finger feels what's going on more so than, I don't know, this gloved hand on the reel seat with a, you know, really nice sensitive blank. But man, having your line on having your finger on that line, in particular the most sensitive of your digits, the tip of your index finger, certainly helps. I got a big old log jumble here with some still water behind it. GoPro, start recording. I just feel good about this. The current looks right. It doesn't look all that deep though. Current does look right though. I will say that this river has changed with regard to its flow characteristics. We've lost some trees on this side that were good current breaks, and the side that I'm working is actually just looks better in this higher flow. It's not bad. Not bad. Might be one of my nicer ones. Yeah, he's a good fish. Oh, get him in that. Cool. Let's take a look. Yeah. So, yeah, this is one of the better ones I've caught. I don't even bring the catch board, but I don't know. That thing's probably 16 and a half. We'll get it real quick. Slow-mo release for the Instagram. GoPro, stop recording. This is where I got that nice one out of. And there's a whole big lane of really calm water down there, but this is as far pushed up in that calm lane as you can get, and it's not all that calm right there. So that fish was up there looking to eat. So if you find a group of fish in winter, which I was getting dink 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 back there, get to the top and, you know, popped a decent one. Sometimes that's it, you know. You're in the same little area, but you move away from the dinks and catch a bigger one. But it comes back to moving higher up in that calm water pocket. I mean, it's just one long, you know, on this bank area of water that's not moving, although it's moving up there where I got them. It's moving slow, but it is moving. I am just moving up this bank and reading foam. This is all moving through more than I want to, but I think right on the bank up in there, yep, right where I just skipped, there's probably, oh yeah, I just popped it in there. I saw that line jump. So just all the way up against that thing at the log. Yeah, pretty far out into the current. I gotta skip it way up into that calm area right below that. The tree trunk is blocking current in there somewhere. Yep, there. Come on, fish. Oh, I know you saw that line jump. It's kind of a frustrating thing to balance. You know, moving up with the motor and then backsliding in current, keeping that line taut is not easy. Cross current, I mean, it's that's a good fish. Maybe I just had that drag too light after straightening the hook. All right, yeah, you go back in. Huh. Right above that log. almost got you out. Gather. So I mentioned when you snag with the fine wire hook, you can usually bend it out. Well, that tactic did not work, so I got the plug knocker I'm sending down after this one. Plug knockers have saved me so many jigs, so many crankbaits, jerk baits. Yes, even the jackhammer comes right back. Of course, I've crashed the hole now. We'll go find another. Oh, look at all that foam. Just on the other side of this log. Like some of that calm water is right there. I gotta get out. Gotta get around it. Alright, look at what's on the other side here. It's real brushy. Like, I'll probably have to flare that bristle guard way out. Yeah, there's some good still foam right there. Gotta be fishing that. Even in the middle here. Yeah, look at all this super still foam. There's gotta be a ton of fish in here. Oh, that was a big one. Alright, I missed a big fish. I actually pulled him up on that jig. And I threw the jig in there a few more times. And he's seen the jig. Let's give him something he hadn't seen. It's a Houdini, I think a 4-inch scented jerk shad. I haven't thrown this yet today, kind of saving it for that moment where you need a follow-up bait. And I'm going to soak this line to kind of preemptively keep the ice from forming. The big one I was looking for, but I did get one on the scented jerk shad. See that notch in the bank right there. A lot of swift current around, but I bet you there's one sitting right in there. Not a real big one. They like those notches. It's their high water refuge. If they can, they'll sit right next to it. Couple of them in that. The last two came from right there. I was positioned somewhere back here. Got a nice tree. But the big feature, especially when the river comes up, they like the security of that notch in the bank. Put 5 more feet of water in this river, and they like to go way back up in there. That little area in there gets filled up with fish. But right now they're sitting right out in front. Maybe on that log. But yeah, notch in the bank is a big deal. All right, I'm on the road, so I do have a clipboard, and I don't have all my Sharpies. I got enough, but we're going to talk about what a notch in a steep bank in a winter hole will do for these fish at multiple levels. So I'm in the editing software and I started to get all my clips together, and I just thought, nope, we need an illustration, so we're going to do that now. Here's the river. Small river, large creek, whatever it is. And I showed you where a notch was in a steep bank. Frequently, what you have is a gravel dump right there. And, you know, on this bank, I think there was like a log or two right there, which deflected current a little bit. And you're going to see in a little bit, I catch a really nice fish tucked right up in there. I caught two of them, you know, somewhere in this area here, and there was a big log right there. But generally, because this is a steeper bank, you have good depth, you know, right there. And you have calm water right here. You have calm water that's deep. And this notch is, you know, has a little bit of the, you know, at the level that I was at, a little bit of water that went back up in there. When it gets really low water conditions, I don't know that this gravel dump would be exposed, but you know, it is something that blocks current, so it diverts current out away from this area here. So that's good for low conditions. It really wasn't low today. It was kind of flooded up into there. But if you really take this up a notch and you really take it to flood conditions, they have this this escalator from low conditions up to high, which they'll get right up in here. So basically, the shoreline, instead of being here, as it was today, is going to be more like here and here and like this. So they have this whole big area in flood conditions to jump up there. And then when the river drops again, they evacuate the notch, and they don't have to go very far, and they're right in the calm spot they want to be in, low or even, you know, a middle stream flow, which we were, you know, we were a little bit high today. But yeah, that's what a bank notch will do for winter smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass, whatever bass you have. If you found a congregation of fish in an area, in a section of river, especially on a steep bank, look for that notch. That affords them refuge during the high water period. So it's something that definitely worth targeting. All right, gonna get back to editing. You're gonna get back to watching. See, look at that biggest tree. We're gonna try and skip one right up into the base. That's close. That was in the neighborhood. Come on, pop it. Now you're in there. Just come out and pop it. Pop the jig. Pop a jig. You know you like it. Why don't you pop it? Where'd you come from? Oh. Alright, I have anchored up because it's gentle enough current. I got a nice big eddy in front of me, steep bank, and Yeah, they're hitting it right there. That's another fish, too. He's lively. Yep. Alright, it kind of goes to show when you do get stopped, you can just do better. And that's one of the challenges I've had today. I think I've missed a ton of bites because in the current I'm swinging around, and this is the first time I've been able to actually get an anchor on the bottom. Getting still is so important with jig fishing. Getting yourself stopped. Pull that torpedo magnet off. Sit here, soak a jig. Yeah, this is how I should have been doing this the whole way. There just weren't really good places to do it. There was no safe place to put an anchor down. This is safe-ish. But that's why we keep the knife right there. We get in trouble, we just cut that anchor line. So one of the most overlooked ways to stay warm when you're winter fishing is eating. You've gotta provide the fuel for your furnace. Applesauce pouches and granola bars is what I'm getting into. Feels pretty good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Alright. I broke off the jig and I reached around and grabbed the scented jerk shad. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. That's a really good fish. Oh yeah, for this size, this creek, that's a good one. GoPro, stop recording. All right, I'm gonna have to get a length on this one. I've been catching everything on the jig. I did catch one or two earlier on the scented jerk shad, but look how just precariously positioned that 4-inch Houdini scented jerk shad is. Just barely in them. But that was in the most forward, most upstream point of a long line of, calm water on this bank. It's as far pushed up as you could get, and it's my biggest of the day. I get a quick measurement and get this guy back in. Got a good one. Cool. All right, got a good measurement on it. 19 1/4. We'll get a weight. He's not gonna be real heavy. These flowing water fish never are. Looks like he's about 312. Not even a 4-pounder, but for small water, I'm happy to have caught him. Let's let him go. That was in that notch that we looked at earlier. And that's a little bit better fish. Came back to it. Oh yeah. Much better fish. Yeah. Notches are important. All right. It's probably 17, maybe 17 and a quarter in that spot where I filmed the notch, showed you the notch. We got two smaller ones first time, but we came back in with the, actually broke off the jig with the TRD craws, tied another jig on, and I'm back to the bat wings. I just like that slower rate of fall, and yeah, that was sort of an alpha fish spot. Even though we caught two dinks first time, I knew it would be good. Notches in a steep bank. First cast back in there. All right, I've checked the National Weather Service radar, and I've gotten flurries here and there, but I know the path that I'm taking down into North Carolina, it's gonna let loose. So I need to get moving back towards the truck and get moving to just get on some bigger roads. Because I think once this fills in with snow, these back roads are going to be tricky. So I'll take a few more casts at this bank before I get out of here. But you know, it's been a good about 2.5 hours, you know, quickly catching a bunch in places that I knew, yep, there's going to be fish here. But you don't get that unless you explore and you have that ethic of exploration, and have the willingness in winter to try something that you don't really know if it's going to work. You never really do, but places like this have been good, and you only get places like this if you put in the work to figure out a few of them. All right, it's also getting really cold. That breeze has picked up just a little bit, and I'm getting to the point where I'm like shivering. Not hypothermic yet. Don't want to wait that long because I do have to get up that bank and do so without injuring myself, slipping and falling. When you get hypothermic, you have the umbles. You mumble, stumble, fumble, and grumble. Your speech gets slurred. You do actually have trouble even saying the words that you mean to say. You try to say one thing and another word comes out. Fumble. You get really clumsy with just handling your gear. You know, your gear that you normally know very well, all of a sudden you're dropping it or mishandling it. So that's mumble, fumble, stumble. I don't want to trip as I'm trying to get back up that bank. And then the grumble, you just get irritable. You get a little cranky. Put them all together, you basically resemble an angry drunk. And it's more than just being unpleasant. It's dangerous, and I'm starting to feel the early parts of it. And for that reason, I think I'm only going to let myself take a few more casts. I got cold quick out here today, under 3 hours, and I'm feeling it. And it's when you gotta tap out, be safe. See if I can catch a few more before I call it a day. Get down the road. But it's been a nice break to come here and whack them. good. How are you?
You doing all right?
Yeah.
All right. With the weather, I said, let me stop and check, make sure you're all right. Were you doing a little bit of fishing?
Yeah. Just pulled out. Caught a bunch of them.
Yeah, you had some luck?
Yeah.
You're here to be fishing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the best, but you know, I can't put it down.
Nah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah. I mean, I like fishing in the fall and winter myself.
Yeah.
So.
What do you fish out of?
Mainly a John boat.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about it. I've fished out of kayak and stuff before. This is a nice rig you got here.
Thanks.
So, but yeah, I've fished out of them before, but mainly a John boat.
So you see the sticker all the way over, it says Boondocks.
Okay.
That's the company I work for. And we make kayak fishing accessories.
Oh, really?
They make that stuff down in Thomasville, North Carolina.
Cool.
So
gotcha.
That's where I'm headed now to pick up a load of product, and then they got a trailer full of stuff for me to take to Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So did you keep any of the fish that you caught today?
No, I never
just
do.
throw them back? Gotcha. You got your fishing license on you?
Yeah.
Let me just take a look at that real quick and then I'll get out of here. Yeah, I saw you. I was like, let me just check on him, make sure he's all right and good stuff. So, if you don't mind, give me just a second. I'm gonna cut my lights on just because. I appreciate it. You know, the weather, people come around.
So I don't have it with me, but I know I have it.
Okay, you got your cell phone, don't you?
I do.
You can pull it up on there, right?
Let's see if we can do that. I know it was on auto renew, and I checked it here recently, and I'm good through like March, sometime in March. We're outdoors, Virginia.
That'll be it.
So that says non-resident state fresh saltwater fishing, 327.
Yep.
24.
That's good. You showed it to me. So, what's your? Let me just verify your customer number, because that way I got to document every time I talk to somebody.
Sure.
So let me just get that real quick, and I'll plug that in. Here, I'll just write down real quick. You have it. So
awesome.
Yeah, nice talking with you. Nice to meet you. Glad you had some luck out there this morning.
Yeah. Can I show you my biggest haul?
Yeah.
Let me see if I locked that. So that's what I do.
Wow.
When I do access in places like that, the first thing I do is clean.
Wow.
And
man, we appreciate that because
it opens up more doors than you would believe.
Well, I'll tell you, we appreciate that because I'm gonna tell you something. That's one of my pet peeves is litter. I cannot stand it. They go up and down the road in front of my house and litter all the time, and I'm still go down there, pick it up. Try and teach kids to do the same thing. I'm like, look, we're gonna go down here and pick it. It ain't our trash. I don't care. We're gonna pick it up. All right.
All right. See you, Caleb.
I'm gonna get out your hair. You take care.
All right. See you, man.